Awesome. We are about to enter in a call. Uh, it's our first workshop for the AI with Ian workshop, and I'm excited to meet everyone. So let's see how this goes. Let's check. Hello. Hey guys. What's up, Mohit? What's up, Nancy? Can you? Is my voice audible?
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Cool. How are you guys? Do you guys have cameras, by the way?
It's blurry.
That's fine. That's all right. I prefer speaking
Okay,
you
okay,
guys
okay,
are
okay.
aware, otherwise it's gonna turn into a lecture, and which is something that I wouldn't
Okay.
like. Yep. So let's have our cameras on, boys and girls. Let's go.
Is it showing?
No, not at the moment. All right, there you go.
Mm,
What's up, buddy? How are you?
क्या हो यार?
Haha, no worries. How's it going?
Okay. Mm,
कैसे
Fine.
कैसे चल रहा है?
बढ़िया बढ़िया. क्या हो गया?
Awesome. Okay, wait. So we have more people joining in. I think Abhi is joining in. Nancy, are you there? Can you hear us? Just give us a green light. Yeah, Abhi just joined in. All right. I think we start in like 2-3 minutes. Before we start, I'd like to have your cameras on. I like for you guys to interact in this session. It's going to be interactive. We're going to learn a little bit of AI. We're going to learn a little bit of automation. We're going to learn a little bit about me. We're going to learn about a little bit about all of you guys. And we're going to have some fun. It's not going to be like one of those lectures you have in college and all of that stuff. I prefer these sessions to be interactive as possible so that you get the best possible outcome. All right. So yeah, if you guys could put your cameras on and say hi, that would be amazing. All right, Shahrukh's just joining in. Awesome. Hey Abhi, hey Shahrukh. Thanks for joining in. Do you guys have cameras? Okay, I can see Abhi.
Bro.
Awesome. Fantastic. How are you, buddy?
Jim, sorry about that.
No worries. Shahrukh, are you at home or are you traveling?
Bro, 10 15 minutes. I'll be able to come on. I'm
No
going.
worries. Cool. That's fine. All right. What about Nancy? Does she have a camera? Does she have a mic? I've not even heard her. Cool. All right. Okay. Awesome. So, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Firstly, you guys are taking out time to join this workshop. And again, I'll just reiterate, I'm going to keep this session very interactive. We're going to learn AI. We're going to learn a bit of automation. This is like going to be like a very introduction session so that you guys will get an idea of what we're about to learn and what you could expect by interacting with me. Again, I'm going to keep these sessions very interactive. You guys can ask me questions anytime. And the whole purpose of us having like a small cohort, like a small group, is that so these things are interactive at the end of the day. Because I fucking hate lectures, to be very honest. I'm not a guy who likes to have a presentation and this is this and this is that. I'm going to ask you guys questions. All right. At the end of these workshops, I'll be sending you guys like these mini assignments, which you can basically like just complete from your phone or your laptop, and you can put them onto the group or send them to me. And that's going to be doubled as a social proofing method on your social media. All right. So that you can show other people, potentially if you're working in a job or a place, your employers, that you know your shit in AI. All right. And I think we live in a time wherein, we are moving slowly from that uh, paper resume to a more visual, like proof of work kind of scenario. Before everything was like, jo bhi paper pe tha, you would get certificates, you would get stuff from different organizations or institutions, and that would certify you that, hey, this guy knows his shit. But now we are transitioning to a proof of work environment wherein people want to see to believe. All right. People want to hear it from you. All right. So we're seeing a shift, right? And we need to adapt to that particular change. All right. So very quickly, we're going to do a quick round of introduction. All right. I think I'll start with Abhi because I think Abhilash, right? We connected earlier and for something regarding AI, and we had quite a long discussion. So Abhilash, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell you can reintroduce yourself to me, and let's have a round of introductions.
I'm Abhilash. I'm connecting from Chennai right now. I'm working for a AI automation company, for content creation, which is in Dubai. It's like a part-time job. Then daytime I'm doing, marketing for a packaging company. So that's the, what I'm doing for bread and butter. Time pass mein, I'm like doom scrolling, and most of the things that's coming on the field is about AI, automation, and all those things. And yeah, I have been in the marketing field for like 3-4 years right now. And like Ian said, right, things are changing. So like I wouldn't say it's a trend right now. It's going to be AI and automation is going to be a thing in the future. So I guess we need to prep ourselves for that. And like you said, proof of work. That's a very big word that I have used. That will be what is going to happen in the future. And I feel like it's not going. It's going to be a result oriented hiring or result oriented work that's going to be what impact are you creating in the company or what impact can you create as a solo person. So that's the next big thing, and I feel like I feel like I am a great guy to get some mentoring from in that department. So that's why I'm here, and I'm really excited to do whatever crazy stuff we are planning to do.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much, Abhi, and thanks for joining in. All right, Mohit, tell us how did you come to know about me, and like we had a small conversation also earlier this last week. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I think you have a unique background as well.
Just a fresher, 12th पास और मतलब मेरा माइंडसेट था कि मैं डिजिटल मार्केटिंग में जाऊं. फिर धीरे धीरे पता चला कि एक चीज भी होती है एआई नाम से, एआई ऑटोमेशन. फिर अभिलाष भी ऐसे कांटेक्ट हुआ था, उन्होंने मुझे गाइड किया, फिर आपसे टच हुआ.
Yep. Awesome. Yep. So Mohit is someone that's studying currently, and he's super interested in the AI and automations field, and he had reached out. And I think Abhilash, you had connected Mohit, or some reference was shared.
Yeah, reference I'm waiting for.
Yeah, and Mohit sent me a video message, that he would like to learn a little bit of AI and automation. I found that pretty cool. And by the way, Mohit, that's the best way to reach out to people. Just like on the side, like if you want to connect with people, I think video is the way to go. Cold emailing is one way, sending a message is one way, but video is like next level. It shows like you're dedicated, and it shows that you're actually interested to learn from someone and want to connect with someone. So I would apply that same method if you want to connect with anyone in this world. Send them a short 1-minute video. Don't make it 2 minutes, but great. Props to you, bro, for doing that. Yeah.
It was advice by Abhilash Bhaiya.
Yeah.
Bro, you're not supposed to say the cheat code, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was to create an impact. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
All right. So I see Abhi is the one that's always giving us cool ideas. So awesome. We'll stick to that theme.
Always.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right. Nancy. So Nancy is here. Nancy, could you introduce yourself? Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I know that you're Mohit's friend, and Mohit had initially told me that you would also be interested in this this session. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
एक्चुअली ना उसका मैसेज आया मेरे को कि उसका माइक ऑन और वीडियो ऑन नहीं हो रहा है.
Okay. All right, no worries.
Nancy,
Yeah.
If she's connecting from browser, maybe she has to switch on from the browser, bro. Or is she to connect through mobile?
Nancy, आप मोबाइल से कनेक्ट कर लो if नहीं हो पा रहा है तो.
Or just let us know if you can hear us. Like, you can give us a reaction or something. Just so that we know that you're here, and you're not ghosting us. So, yeah. All right, till then, till I guess.
So,
Oh, yeah. There she is, yeah. Hey, Nancy, what's up?
sorry. Great.
Awesome.
I'm sorry I wasn't able to speak because I've joined from laptop, so it was not working.
That's fine. That's fine. That's all right. No worries. No worries. Nancy, could you give us a quick introduction? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us what you do.
I'm just 12th passed out now, and I've decided to do SEO, but that was so boring, so I thought to go in this AI field.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
Awesome. 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 Fantastic. And you, how do you and Mohit know each other?
We have we are in the same class from 11th.
Awesome. Awesome, fantastic. All right, well, it's really nice to have you here, and I hope we're able to add some value to your existing skill set and knowledge. All right, Shahrukh. Shahrukh, if you're here and if you can hear us, yeah, awesome. Okay, Shahrukh's here. Awesome. How's it going, bro? You're muted at the moment.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah, so I'm at the gym. Apologies, I'm running a bit behind schedule. Yeah, so about me, as I mentioned, from Amazon Data Associate, and then into co-banking, and then again banks. So I've revolved mostly around the financial sector. But I think after I joined City, the one thing that my was the advent of AI. It was getting too much to the point of, will we have our jobs? Will AI come in and, take our jobs, steal our jobs? That
Yeah.
sort of questions are coming up. And it's not that. It's not the case yet. But getting there, is at least. So I decided, this is something that I ought to know about. So that's why I came here. I've been following it for a long time. Even me, we used to play a game called Battlefield back in the day. We used to run a clan back in the day. So good old memories. So I've been following him for a long time. I've known him for quite a few years now, and that's the reason I'm here. If he has a thing that I want to know, I think he's a great guy for us. So yeah.
Awesome. Thanks. Thank you so much, Shahrukh. Yeah. So, small story is that me and Shahrukh actually met way back, like at least like 10 years back, playing video games, on, this game called Battlefield. I don't know if you guys are aware. I no longer play video games actively, but I still have my love for video games is always there because I pretty much, okay, I'll give you guys a quick story of my background. All right. Since you guys already introduced now all yourselves. I was someone who loved playing video games. I've been someone who used to play like on the Nintendo or a lot of PC games, like a lot of PC games, like date back to Windows XP, Vista and stuff like that. And, I've played like all the PlayStations and all of that, PS1, PS2, PS3. And, multiplayer games were amazing because it allowed you to connect with people on another level. Like hearing someone else's voice in a video game was like crazy, like back then. And the thing is that I wanted to become a gaming YouTuber back then, like about 10 years ago. We used to play this game called Battlefield and Battlefield 4. And I used to also play this game called Counter-Strike. And I was like, chalo, this is so cool. Like I see all these people making content. I want to become a gaming YouTuber. So how do we become a gaming YouTuber? Okay, I need to start recording my screen. So I bought this box. There's this thing called Elgato, and very expensive device. It broke my bank. I bought it. I recorded my footage, and it looked like absolute crap because I recorded and put on YouTube, and like no views, nothing. Like it's like just recording what's happening in the game and putting out. So okay, cool. How do I make my videos better? Oh, you have to edit it. Okay, cool. How do you edit videos? There's this software called Windows Movie Maker, Sony Vegas, where you had to put your clips and then edit. And it's like this is so like it's the most hectic part, editing. As a chalo, edited videos, put still no views. I was like, why am I not getting views? Oh, you need to design like a thumbnail. You need to have a channel name. You need to have a channel art. Okay, how do you make that? Adobe Photoshop, learn how to design stuff. So everything I pretty much learned is because of gaming and because of YouTube. And because of wanting to become a gaming YouTuber, I ended up learning video editing, graphic designing, and a little bit of everything, from YouTube. And down the line, when I was exploring design, I was like, hey, this design thing is pretty cool. Photoshop's pretty cool as a tool. And I just had myself randomly design stuff on the internet. Okay, let me try to, be a bit more visual and show you guys actually what I'm talking about, So one moment, give me one moment. Let me just pull up some, some visuals for you. All right. Let me share my screen. Let's not just talk to the screen. So this is my, okay, allow this time. Yep. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, perfect. Cool. So I used to make like these random designs. Actually, let me just take you back much more piche, very. I used to make like these random designs and I used to put them out on like social media for fun, like for no reason at all. And because I loved Photoshop and I just love creating stuff, then I explored like Premiere Pro. I used to take my designs into Premiere Pro and add some random ass music and like animated with like keyframes and stuff like that. And I loved it. Like I was like, damn, I want to make like these cool visuals. I want to make like these videos and stuff like that. I just happened to like make these videos on social media, and then people started to notice me. People started to see some of my work and they're like, fuck, this is pretty cool. This is insane, blah, 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 blah. And what happened was one day someone DM'd me. Someone sent me a DM and it's like, hey, bro, I'm a host. I host events, nightlife events. Can you make a poster for this event? And I was like, okay, sure, cool. And he was like, I'll pay you $500 for it. I was like, wow, you can get paid money for this. I didn't know that I was making all of these designs for free for fun. And someone approached me and was like, hey, dude, can you make a poster for me? I'll pay you $500. I was like, sure, why not, dude? Like, I was going to do it for free. So, me getting paid $500 was like next level. And I was like also in college, like I was like I was like 17 years of age, and it was pretty cool. And I did that. And the only thing I did differently was let me just go back here. The only thing I did differently was this flyer that I made, I animated it. I took it into Premiere Pro, added some music, like I used to do with my other creatives. And I just added some keyframes and I animated it. This was back in 2017-18. Back in 2017-18, there were no animated creatives on the internet for promoting events, for very specifically nightlife events. And this flyer that I gave to my client became viral. It blew up. His event got sold out. He had 20 event companies ask him, "Ye flyer kisne banaya?" And in that month, while I was in college, I ended up working with almost every club here in Mumbai, making their creatives. And that's pretty much how my story into design, into monetizing my passion, which is designing and video and mixing tech together, kind of started. I learned that people are willing to pay money for this skill. People are willing to pay money for my designs. And I just kept on churning. I had a PC back then. I don't know if my PC is over here. I don't know if I can show you guys an image, but you might find it on my social media profile somewhere. And I was like designing like late night. I remember this particular creator that you see on my screen. I sat like from 12 a.m. in the night till 4 a.m. making this just for fun. I did not know what I was doing. I never went to design college. I never paid any money to learn design. And I just was randomly making stuff for people, and they were paying me money for it. I started charging 500, and I started charging $1,000 and 2,000, and then one client was like, "I'll pay you five grand for a creative," and I was like, wait, which is the creative? Wait, I'll show you. This was my first biggest creative. Was wait. So client one, while doing this for like 20, from doing it for 20 clients, there was one client who really loved my work, and is the client that I work with till date. It's been 7 years. I'm still working with that client. He was the first client who was like, "Bro, I'll pay you 5-6 grand for a creator," and that was the most money I was seen as a teenager for a single creator that took me like 2 to 3 hours to make. It was the most amount of money, and I learned I did not know what was happening, but I just kept on doing. It's like if you find something and you do not know what did you do? Just keep on doing it. Like, just keep on like hitting that particular goal. All right. So I think it was one of these creatives. I don't remember exactly, but anyways, I'll stop talking about this. I just ended up like making designs for event companies, event creatives, and then back in college. So I went to this college called St. Andrews College over here. I was like, fuck. I was already monetized something. I don't know. I was making money basically in college. I was bunking college. I bought a laptop and मैं laptop लेके जाता था और I would bunk college and sit at a coffee shop just down the college in the lane. There's a coffee shop. I would sit and I would just do designs. I would like, work, and I would go to work and make money and come back home. It was like I was going to college making money and coming back home. And at a point, I was making more money than my family was making, but I never told my family till date how much money I was making. I have a reason for that, and I'll tell you why also a bit later. But this was the college. I was with a bunch of friends, and when I was with my friends, I realized that hey, we as human beings, we're all good at something or the other in life. But the only problem is how do we monetize our skills? How do we make money from our skills? And I saw that as a problem in all of my friends. Like we were all good at something. I by accident monetized my skill, or you could say I by luck, someone discovered me on the internet because I posted my stuff and he reached out to me, and I didn't say no, I just did it and I got paid for it. And I was like, hey, what if, we could all like come together and like, we could teach ourselves skills. Like I learned where? From the internet. I didn't pay any money. Okay, cool. Are we learners? Yes. All right, cool. Then let's just like learn stuff. And what I used to do is I used to send like these Google forms, in my class group, and they would have like different topics like Adobe Photoshop, After Effects, whatever, topics I would like to teach. The fact of the matter is that I never knew those topics pre-hand. I just sent to see kya log chahiye, what do people want to learn, and whichever topics got the most amount of votes, I would then go to YouTube, learn everything, and then prepare like a presentation for them. I'll just open up maybe one. I don't know if it's there down here. Yeah, on the right hand side of my screen. Wait, let me just share my screen again. These are like how the presentations used to look like over here on the right hand side, and some of the people on physically and like virtually, because COVID was happening that time. And I would teach my friends basically like, bro, sales, social media marketing, branding, whatever I could learn, make a nice, beautiful presentation and teach. And ये करके दो चीज मिल गया. Two things I understood. Number one, when you teach, two people learn. You get to learn as a person and the other person gets to learn. Number two, community. It builds a community of like-minded people. And when you build a community of like-minded people, you create a platform for everyone and for yourself. All right. Today, we are here today on this call because we are here together to learn about AI and automation and this new particular, let's call it a new tool, a new thing in the internet. We're going to just learn what that is. And whatever happens, happens. There is don't keep any connotation or any, expectation. Just learn it and then just try applying a few things in your daily life and you'll automatically learn it. And the best way to learn it, my secret to you is whatever I may teach you today, or I teach you over the course of this month, try teaching it to a friend. Try using it in your actual life, in your actual work. Try applying it, for fun, and learning will happen passively. So there's active and there's passive learning, right? Learning will happen passively, all right? And when anything happens passively, subconsciously, you don't even know that that's going to benefit you. It's like, it's a skill that is just there and people will see you for having that skill in life. All right. So that is a little bit about my story. And this is the agency that I run. It's called Jinx Network. And we only do nightlife event creatives from the last 7 years. And my clients are in the US, UK, Dubai, And obviously, like while in college, teaching people as to teach branding, we were a full service company at a point wherein we used to do social media branding, we used to do social media. We did a very big event for raising funds for child cancer back in 2022. 2020. And our mindset was what? Just find what problems people are having and try to solve them. Simple. We no selling, nothing. Kuch sell nahi karna hai. We just spoke to people and see if there's a problem that we can solve. If we could solve it, then we could tell them like, hey bro, I feel like your business is having a marketing problem. Maybe we could try this and that. We won't sell them anything. We would just tell them, would you like to try this out? You know, this is how much it would cost. There was never sales. There was no, like, you know, how people term sales and stuff like that. We just asked, this website that you see over here, this United College website, I ended up building it for another small story. I ended up building this website. If you go down, you'll see the credits over here, design and revamp by Jinx Network over here. I'll tell you the small story of this. When I was in college, this website, jo tha, had code spilling on all of it. It was not looking like this at all. It was like this page. You know how an HTML page looks like, right? HTML page with code spilling on all the pages. And I, as a 12th standard fellow, I was like, bloody hell, मेरे को तो timetable चाहिए और timetable मिल ही नहीं रहा है. And I was getting frustrated क्योंकि we should go to the college office. College offices बोले website पे जाओ क्योंकि सब कुछ website पे है. Website पे जाएगा कुछ नहीं है website पे. And I was getting frustrated, and a lot of other students are getting frustrated. And I was like, hey, we need to solve this. Like, why is it not solved? Like, what the fuck? Like, why is this like this? You know? And then I went up to the principal. I was like, I'll build you a website for free. The fact of the matter was, I never knew how to build any website. But what I knew was how to YouTube. Because that's how I learned Photoshop. That's how I learned how to edit videos. And I know I was very confident in my ability to use Google and YouTube basically. If you can type stuff on Google, how to do this, you will get everything for you on a platter. The libraries that we've had back in the day, we had libraries. You have to physically go open up a book, read, and then get that information. I need you guys to understand that you are very, very lucky living in this time and generation right now. Because not only you have the internet, you have something called AI that is now queried already that data. So you can just chat with a library of information completely for free. Can you realize how powerful that is, and at what leverage can you use it? If you use it the right way, you're skipping the time and cost of going and speaking to high level consultants who would charge you lots of money for their time, you're saving your time and money from going to a library, finding for the book, opening up a book, finding those words, and then taking down notes. You're skipping all of that time by simply chatting with a library of billions and billions and billions and billions of knowledge buckets, right? And in each bucket has multiple files and multiple nodes of. You're chatting with a really large brain. This really large brain is what we call an LLM, a large language model. All right, and now we're going to transition to what LLMs are. Okay, as you can see, it's literally a brain. When you're using AI, you are doing nothing but you're chatting with a big brain. This brain simply has a lot of information that has been fed to it. All right. Now, different AIs, you might have heard of ChatGPT. ChatGPT ka, you know how much storage it is. You are using an internet web-based browser to chat with ChatGPT. The amount of data is in terabytes to petabytes. But because of the power of the internet and because of compression algorithms, when you're asking for something, it is locating only those particular files in that brain and giving it to you. Hence, it's coming in a matter of seconds. But imagine if you were to download ChatGPT on your computer, you would not be able to do it because it's lots and lots of data. We can ask Google this question. How many How many parameters is ChatGPT? All right. And let's sorry. So ChatGPT uses approximately 175 billion parameters, and while GPT-4 is significantly larger, about 1.76 trillion parameters. All right, that's a lot. Like billion is already a lot. There's 175 billion, and then when you say 176 trillion is so many folders and files. So you are accessing a lot of information. You have access to a lot of information and data, and you can pretty much do whatever you want with this data. All right. You can teach yourself things. You can do things. You can tell it to do things. Now, chatting with an LLM was not enough. People at OpenAI were like, hey, getting a response one way is like, cool. What else can we do? And that's wherein automation came into the place, right? And other things which we'll discover later in further workshops, such as automation and such as, allowing the LLM to now think and then respond came into the place, right? And while I take you to the history of AI later on into this world and chapter, I want you to understand that you're living in a very, very cool time and cool period of life wherein you have access to a lot of data. So what do we do with this data, right? We have access to data. What do we do with it? I want you to think of using AI as a way of getting access to a consultant. All right. I want you to think of AI as getting access to not just a consultant, but consultant with a little bit of capabilities. So if you tell it to do something like, hey, change this paragraph and do it, it'll actually do it. It's not going to tell you how to do it. It will do certain things. And that's AI. Automation, on the other hand, is basically things that can be triggered, it starts and ends and blah, blah, blah. And when it's basically things happening automatically. We'll get into that later stage because I don't want to overload information with you guys. So I'm just going to have a quick check-in. Anyone who is confused so far into this session already, I want you to raise your hands and tell me if I'm going too fast, too slow, or or if there's any questions so far. All right. Abhilash, Mohit, Nancy, Shahrukh, quick check-in. Any questions, any feedback as of now?
Bro, I have a doubt.
Sure.
Let's say LLMs are trained with the knowledge base that you are saying, and let's say it's the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
I understand one company doing it. I understand two companies doing it.
Yeah.
Let's say that everybody is copying the same information.
Yeah.
Or let's say that everybody has the same information, but why is someone spending so much of money? Like, I understand one or two players, but maybe even I'm like thinking, are we in a very early stage where we are seeing 10, 20 people now? Or maybe later on, like how Google and Bing is there or something, like only two players are there. Are we going to see that one? Because if all the information that they are getting is same for everybody, then what is this always, graph that, this is the fastest, that is the fastest.
Yeah.
इसने ये कर दिया उसने वो कर दिया. It's like just saying that मैंने इसको पढ़ा लिया वो पढ़ लिया वो अभी डॉक्टर बन गया अभी वो सर्जन से ज्यादा सीरियस सर्जन बन गया. So what is this whole drama about?
Got it. So I'm just going to rephrase the question. You're saying like, why are there more companies than OpenAI? Why is there an OpenAI? Why is there a Google Gemini? Why is there like all these other AI models, right? That's what I'm understanding. Why are there all these different LLMs, correct? Now, that's a great question, by the way. And the thing is that the first company that was actually researching AI was actually Google. Google were the first people researching AI. They had started a small research group. They deployed a small research group called Google DeepMind. All right. And by the way, if you guys get time, there's a cool documentary on Netflix called AlphaGo. Oh, sorry, it's not on AlphaGo. Okay. All right. There is a full movie. This is an award-winning documentary. All right. I am going to copy this link and put it in your chat, and you guys can watch it later. All right. Google were the first people to invest in AI. First people to invest in a small team of 6 to 7, 10 researchers to develop AI. Yet they were late to the market. All right. They were doing different things, but they were first. So credit where credit was due. The reason why also just segmenting from this initial topic is that when you're a large company, when you're a large corporation, decision making is very slow. Bureaucracy creates barriers when it comes to decision making. So companies like OpenAI actually started a little bit later than Google and got to market first because they didn't take approval from the board of directors and all the shareholders and all of that shit. They just they found something was useful and they launched it and they went on with it. Now, why are there different tools? Why do we have OpenAI? Why do we have Claude? Why do we have Gemini, right? Why do we have DeepSeek, right? Why are there so many fucking LLMs, right? In the internet. The thing is that every LLM is trained on particular types of data. And it's actually not the same data, all right? The way the data training process takes place is a part of something called machine learning, all right? And how neural networks work, all right? And this question is now going to unlock the question that you just mentioned is going to unlock two new things, all right? The data, right? You're saying the data is the same. The raw source is probably the same, correct? But now how it is churned, like machine, when you put ice into the machine and how you grind it, that ka masala, that thing is based on machine learning ka algorithms and how these companies have set up their neural networks. Every company has set up their machine learning algorithms different from each other. Every company has also set up the way their neural networks work different from each other. This particular node might have more weightage, that particular node might have low weightage, and the permutation combinations is in billions. You can start an LLM tomorrow, which is, theoretically it's possible, but practically it's not a great idea because it's going to cost you a lot of money to train all of that. But you could start an LLM tomorrow and your outputs would be different. Because the way it's like a pinball machine, right? It's so much permutation combination happening. Like, there is no fixed way to control the outputs, right? But you can do something called fine tuning. And this is where the gold is for these different LLM companies. Every LLM company has fine tuned their AI model in different ways. All right. Fine tuning is simply the process of now taking this machine learning algorithm, this neural network, and now giving it some human level reinforcement. Like, hey, this is right, this is wrong. This is right, this is wrong. Now every company has done that weightage differently for their own LLM. Hence outputs are different. And hence OpenAI, if I have to answer your question very quickly, OpenAI is optimizing for general purpose. Claude is optimized for code. Gemini is optimized for large context. Large context matlab, when you send a chat into any LLM, it takes your prompt, your thing. And the response that it gives you, it is based on that prompt. Now, when you chat with it again, is it taking that initial message or just this new message ka weightage, right? That is called context. And OpenAI ka context is lower. Gemini has the longest context of 1 million tokens. All right. We will discover, now you guys will discover a little bit jargon here and there, tokens, context, all of that shit. All right. So yeah, to answer your question, this is what it is. Every LLM, the short answer is that every LLM is fine-tuned differently. The data is processed differently. And hence, at the outcome, they have realized that, hey, Claude to code bhi acha hai. Gemini is great with writing because Google has a lot of writing data. And if you want to write, content writing ke liye Gemini best hai. For general purpose, OpenAI is great. General purpose. So you could do a little bit of coding in this. You could do a little bit of general productivity tasks you want to take. Okay, I'm going to do uh, you know, the cardinal sin and show you my OpenAI history. And you guys can see all, the level of how many chats I have. This is what my OpenAI, thing looks like. So I've used it once for transcribing some audio, which is send an audio file and transcribe it. Give me the text from an audio, right? I have asked it to make a poem. I've asked it to make a draft for a work agreement, right? I have sent it all my notes, sub images dal diya notes ka, and told it, organize karo mera notes. It's very general purpose. I have once asked it to, hey, I want to learn AI image prompting. How can I learn it? I asked AI only how to prompt, basically. By the way, that's called meta prompting. All right. Meta prompting is the art of asking an AI only how to use you. Like, how do I prompt? And that is the best way to learn prompting. It's meta prompting. Any LLM you use, Claude, OpenAI, Gemini, your first prompt, you should be like, hey, I'm new to this. How should I prompt you? Like, tell me about this. It'll tell you everything. It'll tell you each and everything. Oh, give it to me like this, write it in this way, in this structure. Best, tell it, hey, I'm trying to achieve this. Tell it what your goal is. Like, hey, I'm trying to, achieve this. Can you tell me what prompt should I give you? It'll literally tell you how to prompt. And that is the biggest hack nobody is using, all right, with AI, is literally asking the AI how to prompt. All right. So you guys can take a few notes, but these are like all my, chats, and I will take you guys through it, as we progress. But yeah, that is to answer your question, Abhilash. Anyone else? Shahrukh, Nancy, Mohit, give me some questions. I want to teach you and share some knowledge that is tailored to you. So tell me, is this confusing you guys? Or are you able to learn a little bit of knowledge from this session? Yeah, all good. Nancy, Shahrukh, Mohit, just checking. Any questions? Did you guys understood what fine tuning is?
Yeah, pretty clear so far.
Awesome. Nancy, what about you? Any questions?
I don't have any question because I understand little bit, not exactly everything.
Okay, no problem. What about you, Mohit?
सर जैसे कभी कभी प्रॉम्प्टिंग करते हैं तो एक एक्चुअल आंसर नहीं मिल पाता है शायद इसी वजह से क्योंकि हम लोग प्रॉम्प्ट सही भी करते होंगे
Correct.
ऐसा
Absolutely right. So, awesome. So, prompting, right? I feel that you guys should understand prompting very well. Prompting is the only interface to AI, which is why you will find so many courses and things on internet, like how to prompt engineering, how do we do this prompting, how to prompt, because the literal only way to use AI is prompting. It is the tool, it's the main driving wheel, and the accelerator and the buttons is prompting. So without learning how to prompt, you will never get anywhere with AI. Luckily, you will learn a lot of prompting with me in this, as we interact, you're going to learn a lot of prompting and how to achieve certain things, because if you go through my, again, the ChatGPT thing, I have spent 2.5-3 years with ChatGPT. All right. The initial models, by the way, in ChatGPT. All right. Let's go to OpenAI Playground. All right. This is, Playground and Ravage. All right. So, sorry. So, we are used to what? ChatGPT 4.0, 03. ये some models है. अभी तक only these models are available. See, 4.5, 4.5, 4.03. Back then, the first initial models was called Babbage 002. The first initial model. All right. And you would get like some really bad outputs, like maximum context length of like, a few characters. And after a point, it starts hallucinating. Hallucinating is when the AI starts kuch random cheesy bolte hai. Why does it happen random? You see this neural net structure, right? Back then, it was not fine tuned to the level of fine tuning it has right now. So it goes through this pinball machine and it randomly picks up, random words and will output. So that hallucination can happen. It's like the same thing is kind of how your brain works. Whenever you see something, when I see like this water bottle, automatically it's signaling me like water, okay, you can hold it, this has H2O, it's good for you, blah, blah, blah. When you see a picture of a mouse, automatically, things are going in your mind like, oh, this is a mouse. Obviously, that's the first thing, then you can hold it, you can do a lot of things. That instance took milliseconds for you to realize that this is a mouse. Right? This looks like a pen, right? It took you milliseconds to understand that. Why? Because you have been trained. Your brain has been trained on these things. This is a bottle, this is a wallet, remote. It takes you not even like seconds, like milliseconds, right? Instantly. Same way, you can train AI in such a way that, hey, this is a remote. You showed 10,000 remotes, and then at one fine day it'll be like, oh, this is a remote. This is a remote. And whenever you're prompting, you are now tapping into that particular neuron of that LLM. So, and it knows what to reply because it's ranked itself. All right. So also one more thing, when it comes to, training your own AI, we have something called reinforcement learning. Oh, there you go. Reinforcement learning is simply the act of telling AI what is what. Like keep on reinforcing it and telling that, hey, this is what this is, like here you go. So, okay. We won't get into it. It'll be too technical to explain. But just understand that why did it take so much time and money to do this is because they have to deploy thousands of researchers, pay them salaries to go and manually tag and annotate data, creating a data set. So all of these AIs, right? What is an LLM made out of? It's made out of data sets, right? It's basically like a huge Google sheet with like, the image, what it is, what angle it is, and, stuff like that. It's a data sheet. So imagine everything, each parameter is a data sheet, like there's probably a data sheet for like, remotes, for pens, and like so many like manually have tagged. And after a point, you can then use machine learning to auto tag. Like after a point, you can train AI to tell it what is right and wrong and then correct itself. And that's what we call synthetic data is, or there's something called synthetic data sets. And that's basically data sets in short, it's basically data sets that are made with AI. So AI is correcting itself and telling itself like, oh, this is, this is what it is. And, it's like stuff like that. Won't get too deep into the details because it's not necessary to know all of this stuff, but you should know about it. You should be aware about it. All right. You should know how AI works because the more you know how it works, right, it'll be easier for you to actually use it. Now, we talked about prompting just a while back, and I want to head back into this prompting zone. All right. There's this very cool resource. All right. And we're going to learn about prompting, but there's this very cool resource. All right. I think it's called, Gitbooks. Let me check. Okay, no, not this. So, I mean, there is a resource that I will share with you guys on your WhatsApp. It's everything about learning about prompting. All right. The most easiest and best way to learn about prompting. Actually, let me just go up to new chat. All right. Whenever you are working with AI, when you're going to do the prompt, all right, the first and best thing is always define a role. All right. So I'm just going to write role over here. All right. Tell the AI which parameter I want you to be in, like which neuron. So because there are billions of parameters. So let's say if I want to talk to an architect, I will be like, hey, you are an expert architect. All right. Now if with this being in place, it's gonna tap into anything related to architecture and expert architecture. All right. Each word, all right, is a token, or a token could be like this much also, this much of a word. I'm just gonna zoom in a little bit. All right, so you guys can see. All right. When I say token now, and when we say like ChatGPT ka itna token hai, wo token, what is a token? Token is words at the end of the day, but it's a set of words. One token could be up to this much. This could be one token. R and could be one token. So when you're using AI, they charge you per token, correct? I mean, ChatGPT pay, you're paying a subscription plan and you're using those tokens. It is kind of unlimited, but it's not unlimited. At a point, it will stop. All right. You're basically burning tokens. All right. Tokens are the way that they can calculate ki kitna LLM usage ho raha hai, how much this, because to process all of this, it requires like graphic card units and all of that. There's a significant amount of hardware required to generate this, which we will get into later on. But again, best way to prompt, define a role. Second, tell it what you want. You are an expert architect. I am looking to redesign my house. All right. Tell it what you want to do. All right. Secondly, so the reason I'm using this hash, all right, this is called markdown format. All right. Markdown is the way AI understands the best. It's the same format that is used by computers, so it's called markdown format. So yeah, this is like markdown format, as you can see. I'm just going to open it up here. So it's like hashtag is like header text, 2 hashtags, header 2, 3 hashtag, header 3, So the way to tell AI what is important and what is not important, you can use hashtags. The more number of hashtags, the less important it becomes. The lesser amount of hashtags, the less important it becomes. The maximum amount of hashtags you can use is 5 or 6, by the way. And then what was body text is also like considered text. It's considered paragraph text. But if you want to play with hierarchy and like what's important, what's not important, like what words I wanted to pay attention to, you can use markdown. All right. Firstly, I'm defining a role. You're an expert architect. Number 2, I'm looking to redesign my house. All right, let's just fix that typo. And number 3, I want to give it an example. I want to create something like Zaha Hadid. All right, she is a very famous architect. All right. She sadly passed away a while back, but she is like one of the famous architects basically in the world, right? Okay, this is a very basic prompt. You're giving it a role, you're telling it what are you looking for, and you're giving it an example. Give it example. All right, let's say you prefer a particular way and format, for it to reply. You can tell it that also. Please explain it to me like I am 5. All right. So you can also tell the AI how you want it to reply to you. All right. So I want you guys to actually open up ChatGPT. All right. Let's do it together. Let's prompt together. Let's actually like get our hands dirty and do it. All right. So you guys have ChatGPT. Everyone has an account, I'm assuming, with ChatGPT. So just open up a new tab. All right. And let's take an example. All right. Let's take an example. I want you guys to craft a prompt. All right. I want you guys to craft a prompt to, let's say, learn prompting. All right. So go to ChatGPT, open up a window. All right. Your role should be that you're an expert prompter. The second thing that you should look at is I'm looking to learn prompting. And thirdly, you could say that you can give it an example that I like to learn like I'm 5, I'm just going to hit this enter and there you go. Okay, so it is giving me an output right now. I'm just going to zoom out. Let's close this. All right. So now ChatGPT sometimes does this in the pro version. It gives you 2 versions to give it feedback on like, how do you like this method or that method? All right. So response one is like, hey Ian, imagine your house like a toy made of blocks. Most houses look like normal Lego houses, straight walls, flat roof, square windows. But what you want is more like a Play-Doh magic, curvy, flowing, super cool shapes that feel like your house is moving, dancing, or even flying. That's what Zaha Hadid does. She was a famous architect who didn't like boring boxes. Her buildings look like waves, spaceships, or futuristic sculptures. So when we design your house like Zaha Hadid, it won't be a box. It'll be curvy, smooth, and flowing like a river. So Zaha Hadid, that's very accurate actually. So Zaha Hadid, if you see her architecture, it's very like this flowy kind of feeling. You know, it's never like a box. This is her style. You know, so that's what AI is telling me, you know. So imagine a bedroom that feels like it's floating, a living room that feels like, oh, blah, blah, blah. So obviously, like, you know, I mean, I prefer this response, which is like short. I don't like emojis usually in my responses because they take up extra tokens any which ways. So this is the format and way that I like. All right. So, all right, let me get back to this. Stop presenting. Yeah. I want you guys to go into ChatGPT. All right. And let's prompt AI to learn how to prompt. All right. And I want you guys to share your outputs on our WhatsApp group. All right. And if anyone would like to share their screen and show me what they're doing, if they need any guidance, I'm here to guide you. All right. So we're doing something very simple. We're learning how to prompt. We're learning how to prompt by asking AI how to prompt at the end of the day. So cool. Mohit or Abhi, I see your cameras are on. So would you guys like to share your screen? If not, no worries. You can ask me any questions if you like.
No, I'm connecting through mobile, so
Okay.
I might not be able to do right now.
All right, no worries. That's completely fine.
But I have a doubt though.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm a little bit, my is a little bit advanced for the first class. Bro, example, let's say Midjourney.
Yeah.
We know it is specifically created for creating images, and people know the formats. Like when it comes to images, people know ki, HD, ratio, all those things, right? Let's say the parameters.
Yeah.
But when it comes to ChatGPT, like initially you told that the role is there. You give an example. You tell what your goal is. Then you say the guardrail ki matlab don't do this, don't do that, and how you want the result to be, the format also.
Yeah.
Let's say these are the parameters. I'm just wondering, this kind of feels like generic, but is there something else? Bro, once again, I'm getting called.
No worries. Go for it. Yeah. And I'll answer your question also once you're back. Mohit, did you have any questions? Mohit, Nancy, and Shahrukh. I forgot you guys are also on the call.
I'm trying for prompting.
All right. Awesome. What about you, Nancy and Shahrukh?
Same, I'm just trying.
All right. Well, what are you guys prompting, by the way? Just curious.
First rule, you are a prompt making expert.
All right.
Second, I want to learn about prompting. That how can I prompt on ChatGPT?
Okay.
And I am a fresher.
Fresher. Okay. Also, Mohit, try one thing, right? So your native language is Hindi, Marathi, Bengali. What's your native language?
Hindi.
Hindi. Okay. Ask ChatGPT one more thing. Tell ChatGPT, can you give me an output in English or in Hindi?
English.
Okay, English. Put that prompt in also with your prompt. All right. Before you hit enter. All right. Nancy, what about you?
Just a second.
Yeah. All right. And Shahrukh, what about you? What are you prompting ChatGPT? All right. Shahrukh's not here at the moment, but no worries. Yeah. Okay. Abhi is back. All right. Okay. So Abhi, to answer your question, right? Wait, your question was related to parameters, right? Like using guardrails, parameters to get certain outputs with AI, like Midjourney and stuff. Yeah. When it comes to AI image prompting, which we will come to soon, again, just like how LLMs are made, right? Every AI image company also has their own brain for image generation. Image generation happens thoda differently. Image generation happens through a method called diffusion. Diffuse hota hai. basically. Diffusing means like noise is converted into lesser noise. It's the act of removing noise from an image. So everything you see, those old TVs jo tha na, full of noise, those pixels and those things. Diffusion is the process of removing pixels in a particular manner, and what ultimately remains is a particular image. This image for us will look like will look like an image of, let's say, a bottle or something. But for the AI, it's not thinking if it's a bottle. It's thinking, oh, these are the pixels and this is the amount of pixels to remove. It's not concerned giving you a bottle. You're prompting it bottle. But diffusion is that process. Now, every company, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. So Midjourney is basically Stable Diffusion, a wrapper, basically. And Stable Diffusion was one of the initial first AI models that you could use on Discord. And that's why it's called diffusion. And they used the word stable diffusion because it was stably diffusing the image. So, yeah, I mean, each AI company has different weightage to different prompts and different parameters. They might have some parameters that other companies don't have. Let's say Disney characters are there in Stable Diffusion, I think so. But in other AI models, like let's say Sora, maybe not there. So again, it depends on the data set that's available and the correct parameter, the right keyword assigned to that data set to trigger that particular data set. It depends on that, So in the later, in the next session, actually, we might actually learn a little bit about AI image prompting, because I literally have my own AI image prompter that I have trained on AI, basically. So I've trained it on all different prompts. मैंने सब prompts of these different companies एक साथ ही डाला है. And I told AI ki, like, bro, you are my like expert AI prompt generator for AI images. So anytime I need to generate an image, I just ask my AI prompt generator, hey, I'm looking to generate, like, let's say, hey, I am looking to generate an image of me of a cat. A cat that is flying through the rainbow. All right, guys, give me some ideas. Let's all contribute towards this prompt. All right, Abhi, give me some ideas. Tell me what can I add. Tell me something of your imagination, something random.
With big ears.
All right, with big ears. All right, with big ears. All right, Mo, tell me something. Tell me something you want to add to this prompt. Just go randomly. Whatever comes to mind.
Cat should be cute.
Looks cute. All right. Nancy, tell me a prompt. Tell me a keyword top of your mind that you want to add to this prompt.
She's flying.
Flying is already there. That's already taken. Something else.
Okay. She wearing clothes.
Okay. Wearing clothes.
It's good.
All right. Shahrukh, are you here? Are you unavailable at the moment? All right. Okay, cool. Looking at wearing clothes. Guys, give me an environment. What setting is this cat in? So we defined the subject, which is a cat. We described the action and we described a few characteristics. Tell me the background environment. Where? In space, on Earth, on Mars, in a kitchen, where? Give me some.
On a beach.
On a beach. Where? Awesome. Cool. Do you guys know any famous artists? Any famous artists coming to mind?
What was the recent one, the trendy one?
Trendy guy. I know a lot of artists in the design field. I know Beeple Crap.
Vincent Van Gogh.
Sorry?
Vincent Van Gogh.
Okay.
Vincent. Gouh. I don't know if I'm getting the name right, but all right. In the style of Vincent Van Gogh. You see, now we've added different parameters over here. We've added different keywords, different ways. We have cat, flying rainbow, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you're crafting a prompt for an image, it goes very detailed. All right. Now I've already created this prompt generator, which is lifting the hard work for me. I'm going to show you what it looks like. All right. I'm going to hit enter. And this prompt generator is going to give me a couple of outputs. It will give me a flux prompt first, right? See, and it also knows that DALI will restrict because Van Gogh का art style DALI पे नहीं मिलेगा, all right? Okay, so it automatically is saying, okay, you know what? I'll give you a flux ka version, and I'll give you a mid journey and a stable diffusion version. It's given me different prompts for three different AI image generators. All right. So here we go. I'm going to read out the first prompt. A cute, stylized cat with oversized ears and expressive eyes, wearing a playful summer outfit, think floral shirt and tiny glasses, flying joyfully through a vivid rainbow trail above a golden sandy beach. The cat is midair, front and center in the foreground. With wind-swept fur and delighted expression, in the midground, soft ocean waves lap against the shore, with seashells and a colorful beach towel below. The background fades into swirling, expressive brushstroke skies in a painterly impressionist style inspired by Van Gogh, with thick impasto plexure, blah, 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 blah. Daylight scene, emphasize motion, whimsy, artistic, use canvas texture. You see, if you were to deconstruct this prompt for flux, we first described the subject. All right. Then we described what the subject is doing. All right. Then we described a little bit of the midground and the foreground, and also how the subject looks in that midground. All right. We then described the background. All right. Subject, midground, background. All right. And then style. You see, if you break this down, it's simply what's your subject? What does it look in the midground? What does the background look like? Okay. Describe the subject, describe the subject's, what the character is, what the character looks like, what expression, right? This is the subject. This is what the character looks like. This is what it looks in the foreground. This is what it looks in the background. And lastly, what the style. Very important. That is how flux works. Now, let's actually see what this looks like. All right. So I'm just going to copy this. All right. If you guys want to use flux, so I forgot to tell you guys what flux is. My bad. Flux is one of the best, my personal favorite AI image generation companies. All right. They are, you can use it for commercial purposes. So if you're someone from the marketing and design space, these images are commercially viable. You can use these outputs for commercial purposes. All right. And they have a bunch of stuff. Now, in order to use it, you can use it multiple ways. I think the most easiest way is we can just use I have a prefix subscription, which I will be giving you guys access to, or I will tell you guys to buy a very small subscription. It'll cost you like 500 to 700 rupees for a month, basically. And you can get a lot of outputs in that. All right. Now, I'm just going to open up Freepik. Freepik is, by the way, it was a stock photo company, but they have integrated AI fully. So a lot of my team members use it. I use it a lot. I've been using it for 2 years. On the left hand side, which is this box, I'm just going to copy paste my prompt. Okay? In the model over here, all right, you guys can see, I'm just going to zoom in a bit. Model, which is over here on the left hand side, I am going to choose flux. Just going to choose flux 1. It's going to take 10 credits of mine. And I am just going to choose with Freepik they made it very easy. You can just click on these things. I'm going to choose, let's go for a social media post size. All right. 4:5. And I'm going to hit generate. All right. And as you can see over here, it has started the generation process. And here we go. We have a cat. It's wearing those glasses. Its expression is, playful. There's a rainbow and it's on the beach. You see? And now, as I told you, right, different AI companies have different ways. What if we would take the same prompt but use a stable diffusion kind of, variation? It's called Mystic, developed by ChatGPT itself. Let's see what it looks like in that same prompt, different model. And this is why, we were talking about like how AI is trained on different brains and different neurons. because each company has different weightages for different words and keywords. All right. So let this generate. We'll also at the same time generate one on Google Imagen. Google Imagen is great for realism, by the way. So it's taking some time to generate. Every AI model is different. Okay, and we'll come back to that. So here we go. This is what Mystic output look like. You can compare it. Almost the same. You know, the prompt adherence is great. We've got some, you know, seashells and stuff. And, you know, it's pretty like, you can see it's like a bit more detailed compared to, you know, Flux. Flux is a little bit more soft. You know, you can see that there's a little bit of artifacts. Artifacts are like, you know, it's not diffused properly. You know, thoda artifacts. You can see like this teeth is like, this tooth is not perfectly shaped, right? So those are called artifacts basically in AI. I think Google has got the gist. It's got the Van Gogh art style, right? It's got a cat flying rainbow, wearing glasses, looks cute with floral pattern and art style. Google, I would say here is the winner, basically, in adherence of prompt adherence, right? So yeah, these are like, you know, obviously we'll come to this later. I don't want to make the session into AI imagery, but there's a lot of stuff that we can explore and a lot of stuff that we learn, all right, with AI imagery, with especially regards to image generation, because it's a whole new chapter. I want you guys to learn from scratch. I'm not going to give you guys access to my prompt generator at the very start. We are going to learn how to do this from scratch, all right, and generate images the way you want. And then I will show you how to make your own AI prompt generator also at a point, so that you can build your own tools, you know, with AI, and then just use it. You can make, let's say, Mohit and Nancy are currently in college, right? They might be getting like a lot of assignments or projects. You can build your own custom GPT that you just drop your voice note, some images of what the assignment is, and it will complete the assignment, but we'll add an extra prompt in the generator saying that, hey, step by step, explain me also like kya ho raha hai. So you can learn. AI is not here to do your work for you, right? Don't use it for just getting the job done. Tell it to teach you. Tell it that, hey, also explain your thought process, explain like why did you approach it this way? Ask AI to explain you processes. The whole point of using AI is that you don't have to go back to your libraries and search for the book to learn something. So treat AI not as something you put in and you get and wo kaam khatam ho gaya and like, oh, I'm gonna chill. Use it as a source of learning. Use it as a way of learning things faster with a little bit more better quality. Okay? That should be the mindset. The mindset is the most important of how you use AI and how you approach it. If you simply use AI to put something and get something out, you will eventually just be, you know, associated with everybody else that just, you know, uses AI. But if you actually think and know how to use it, this is where your level of expertise gets built, and this is where you build a skill of knowing how to use something, and that skill can be added onto your portfolio of the other stuff that you do. If you're a marketer, you know what type of prompts to use, to use in AI. If you're a designer, for me as a designer, I build my own tools using AI so that my mood boarding happens faster, my concept delivery happens faster. When I want to explain something to a designer, that can happen very fast, right? When I need to create an asset that needs to go into a project, instead of going through a bunch of stock imagery and finding that asset, I just know how to prompt it, give it the right style, and then take that into Photoshop, clean it up, and then use it in my final design. There are various ways to use it, right? And you need to always know how to use it. And the only way you learn how to use it is by doing like the stuff that we're actually doing, by doing. All right. Cool. Now it is time. All right. We've gone through a lot of basis of AI. I'm going to open this session for like 10 minutes more for question and answers and just answering you guys questions. And I'm going to send you guys a small assignment. This assignment is going to be related to writing prompts. All right. crafting your own prompt, and it's going to be related to your own field or profession, all right, or what you aspire to be, all right. Let's say your background is in marketing, then we are going to write some prompts related to marketing, all right, and getting a particular output related to that. If you're a designer, we're going to ask you to create some prompts as a designer, all right. If you're a student that wants to become or learn, let's say, engineering, or you want to learn a very particular niche topic, we are just simply going to craft a prompt for you in your style. The importance is that it has to be in your style. Do you like to learn like you are like a 5-year-old? Then we are going to craft the prompt that way. Do you want it in English? Then we're going to ask AI to do it that way. Your style is very important. Everyone's learning styles are different. I am more of a visual learner. So whenever I prompt AI, I also tell it, okay, cool. Now make this into an image and send it to me. That is what I do. I like, hey, this is cool and all, but now make it into an image and send it to me. What happens is, so I have a printer back there. So basically, I give AI to like, get down my notes. I send it like all my messy notes, and I'm like, make this थोड़ा मतलब design करके मेरे को वापस भेजो. And then I print that out, and I now have a visual reference of what I'm learning, because I'm a visual learner. I like to learn with mind maps and visually diagrams and stuff like that. So let's say you want to learn prompt engineering. Okay, we'll craft a prompt for finding out prompt engineering, and we'll figure out how to generate a visual out of it, right? That's going to be the assignment. I will send it to you guys on WhatsApp, which you guys can execute, and send it to me within a day or two. There is a time limit because it's a small task, but 2 days you'll get to finish this completion. And there'll be a total of 4 assignments, or maybe 6 or 5 assignments. Also, by the way, at the end of this workshop, this entire thing, whatever you want to call it, workshop or interaction that we're having, you guys will all get LinkedIn recommendations from me if you finish all the assignments, all right? And yeah, so in addition to you guys now having physical projects and assignments that you made for yourself, if I'm satisfied, if I really like your assignments, I'm going to give you guys a LinkedIn recommendation on your profile, all right? So that's up for grabs. Cool. Any questions? Abhi, Mohit, Nancy, Shahrukh, any questions that you guys have for me? We went through a little bit about the history of AI, how AI kind of works, and a bit of prompting in this session. So do you guys have any questions related to that, or in general? I would love to open up the stage for, any questions now.
I think I'm clear for the most part. I had a general idea about what prompts were, but somewhere along this session you mentioned meta prompting. Is it something that we're going to be learning in future sessions, or is that something I can have a fair idea about now? If so, what is meta prompting?
Yeah, so meta prompting is like, so we call it, the meta, what do you mean by meta? Is like, that guy's meta. Meta is basically like, it's like, oh, this guy is like crazy, like, he hacked the system, and meta prompting is simply asking AI how to prompt. So whatever AI or LLM that you're using, you ask that LLM also itself, like, hey, this is what I'm trying to achieve. How do I prompt you? Instead of directly prompting and asking AI for an answer, you are taking one step back and asking the AI, like, this is what I'm looking for. How should I prompt you to get that particular output? And the AI is going to give you certain things and questions, and it'll understand more depending on the type of LLM or AI you're working with, and help you get closer to what you're trying to achieve, basically. So that's meta prompting. Meta prompting is simply asking AI how to prompt. But yeah, we would be learning a lot of meta prompting, because I think that's the best way to learn. It's like, there's no guesswork. You're literally like asking AI, and it's telling you literally how to, achieve that. So it's like, you're skipping the entire guesswork. Oh, should I use this word or should I use that keyword? Because before, back in the day, it was this whole scenario like, oh, use this prompt to get this. And yes, if you use certain prompts in certain ways, you'll get certain outputs. You get like a really straightforward output. Meta prompting is just that easy way, like, quickly you want to use something, you want to get something out. You don't want to spend time like doing guesswork. Just apply that method, that framework. So yeah.
I'm clear. Thanks.
Awesome. What about you? Yeah, Abhi, yes.
Like you said, like if we were going into mid journey, and let's say we are asked, or we are going to ChatGPT and asking what are the parameters that are used in mid journey right now with its latest version, like that. I was just wondering in our mid prompting journey, it will be cool if we can make a document for ourselves where we have these kind of parameters in our hand. Example, I'm just saying, like, let's say the general public is creating to a level where you ask all the workout plans and all those things, and you're saying that make an Excel for me, or make a document for me, or let's say you are saying that make a PPT for me.
Yeah.
If you're just saying that make a PPT for me, or like if you're saying, then people say that make this unique or something like the general stuff that they do. I'm just saying that maybe we have, if we can have a document where how do we make that PPT that it's going to give us, which is going to look like shit, into a better format
Sure.
with an additional prompt that we can add, which will be like an insight for us also and for the other people. Like let's say that somebody is sharing that LinkedIn, and it will be like, oh shit, I used to stop with this one. If I add 2 more lines, I'll get this result. That will be an insight for them also.
Yeah, sure. So, are you recommending this as like an assignment? Or
Like assignment discovery. Like I don't know. If, like example, if I'm asking you, do you have a document where it has all the parameters? Like parameters, like see for mid journey, we have like example ratio car. This something is that. Like you said that. Like how do I say this? Like cheat code. मेरे को cheat code चाहिए.
got it. You want
Give
to
me the
change
whole list.
basically of like if you use this keyword, you'll get this type of output. Okay, cool. I mean, so that's available. I will share a link or resource to that. All right, and in fact, so that documentation of how these mid-journey or like these AI image generations work, I have fed that documentation into my custom GPT, which is why whenever I'm prompting my prompt generator, it is referencing those documentations and giving me the prompt. So many basically AI for like let's say this is the parameters of like how Midjourney works. I have fed that into AI, my custom GPT, and now that AI has now gone and like compressed it, and then whenever I am prompting it, let's say I'm prompting the AI tool is interacting with my entire database and giving me a prompt. So you can build that for yourself, and that is the very, very cool tool to have internally that you can also use for other people. I built this image generation thing for myself. Let's say you are someone who makes a lot of presentations you make in your job, and you know that you always like your presentations in this format, this style, you always do these steps. You can tell AI, just like how I put those roles. The reason I showed you those roles right at the very start of prompting is because when you're crafting your own custom prompt for your custom GPT, you wanted to always follow a pattern. And in order to define a pattern, you are going to use that markdown format so that your custom GPT always follows that pattern. It will never deviate. That weightage is so strong. If you want it in this style, that it's going to follow that prompt always in that particular manner. So that is why I showed you that role system in a custom, that is the like custom instructions. And hey, building your own custom GPT is like one of the assignments and projects that is going to be in this workshop for sure. Yeah. Yes.
I have a
Yes.
small follow-up question.
Sure.
Small follow-up question. Bro, like when you say that, let's say it's querying exact data or exact knowledge base.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like you have given the instruction, prompt itna hi hai dictionary only you can use.
Yeah.
When it comes to that use case for a GPT, super I understand. But I have noticed, like let's say it's like a roaster, your GPT roaster, where it is a context. I have noticed one thing when you give a knowledge base, like example, I'm giving it a PDF of let's say 1,000 roast lines or something. I have noticed one thing, it doesn't think like how you want it, like custom made answer, it copies and gives to you sometimes.
Okay. So that fine tuning has to be done in the custom prompt, right? Of wherever you're prompting a custom GPT, right? So what I always do is I always test Like if it's giving me an answer that I don't want, I will go back into the custom prompt engine. I'll be like, hey,
Okay, sir.
make sure that it's never like this. Like you need to tell AI what you like and what you don't like. Very importantly, there's something called positive prompt and negative prompts. Also, by the way, positive prompts are like prompts that you tell AI like, hey, focus on this and stuff. Tell it not to focus on certain type of stuff. Then negative prompting is also something we learn a little bit in our sessions.
Yeah, guardrails.
But yeah,
Yeah.
guardrails. Yeah, you could think of it. Yes, Mohit.
ड्यूब जैसे आपने बताया कि हमको चैट जीपीटी को बताना पड़ेगा कि क्या रोल है, तो वो क्या हमेशा हमको बताना पड़ेगा कि एक बार करके हम सेट कर सकते हैं उसको?
So with ChatGPT का context protocol मतलब अच्छा है. So you don't need to keep on giving it the role. That role thing is only the first thing that you can give it.
ओके.
Actually, this role thing that मैंने जो दिखाया ना, वो custom GPT बनाने में ना will be the best use case. You know. So custom GPT and your own ChatGPT window में थोड़ा फर्क होता है. Like for example, वो image generator prompt that I have, it always is going to give me those three flux, mid journey. It will give me, DALI prompt. It will always do that. That is because I've given it a custom instruction. But वो same चीज आपका ChatGPT window में करेगा ना, तो you might get little bit different prompts. It will try. This is all because context windows, right? Context window क्या होता है is how much tokens it is remembering and storing and keeping. उनका storage limited है window पे, but custom GPT में वो like you have put that database लगा चिपका के लगा है, so it will always reference that database, So yeah, but again, I would suggest operating it via window is completely fine. Like at least with ChatGPT Plus, you have a pretty strong context memory, So with the free version also, I'm sure that they are holding some amount of context memory for your chat window. Yep. Cool.
Can you just please show that role wala part again?
Sure. So I mean, it's very simple. All you have to do is when you go and you prompt ChatGPT. Let me just open up my ChatGPT right here. All right. Blah blah blah. Yes. Zaha Hadid. Yeah. So when you are, prompting ChatGPT, how AI LLMs work is they work with Markdown structure. Markdown, if you are in BSc IT, right, you might come across something called Markdown, but basically when you give it a hashtag, right, first, it is going to regard this as top level, matlab regard this first. So I always give a role first, then I tell it what I'm looking to do. I give it a reference, and then I tell it how I want the answer. All right, so give it a role, tell it what you want to do, give it a reference example. Examples are great. AI works great with examples. And lastly, if you prefer it to explain it in a particular way, maybe you wanted to explain it in Hindi, maybe you wanted to explain it to you in English, maybe you wanted to explain to you, like, let's say, Modi ji, the way he speaks, AI will do that for you. So you can reference it, and these are all permutation combinations that you can play with to get a particular output that works for you. You don't have to stick to the custom output that ChatGPT usually gives you. You can tailor the outputs to make you understand, because ultimately you're doing this so you understand things better and you're trying to get access to certain information better. So you don't have to stick to the traditional way an AI is going to reply to you. You can tell it how you want it to be. All right. So this is basically like roles and stuff. I think this is based on Markdown. So I'll send you guys these links. I'll send you like Markdown, like what is Markdown basically. And yeah. Any questions further, Nancy? Did I make sense, or did this not make any sense? Yeah. So yeah. Any other questions, guys? Shahrukh, any questions?
I'm clear, bro. Yeah.
Okay, guys. We're gonna call it a day. It's we went a little bit about time, and I think that might happen. Which is why, I'll try to optimize the session. But this is the first session. We got to learn a little bit about everything. We got a quick introduction done. We learned what prompt basics are. We learned a little bit of meta prompting, which is asking the AI to write the prompt for you. We learned a little bit about how LLMs work and how LLMs are very closely designed of how our brains function and how our brains work, And we learned a few use cases with also AI image generation. In the next coming sessions, we will explore more into the AI imagery generation and also something called automation, all right, which has been there since a while, but it's gaining traction now. And we learn a little bit of automation. We learn a little bit about building your own AI agents. And, these things might sound complex, but they're the most simplest and the most easiest thing, all right? You don't have to complicate it. I'm going to be here to guide you guys through that entire process. And at the end of this, we're going to build stuff for ourselves that is going to help us either in our career or either in life, all right, or help us help other people faster and better, and build cool things in life, that you could possibly get paid for maybe one day or the other. All right, so that is the goal, and that's my goal, and that's my commitment that I'm giving you guys for this the next 30 days. All I expect is come for the workshop. If you aren't attended, just let us know in advance, so we can find the right schedule and get your assignments completed. And yeah, if you have any questions, we'll use this group to communicate and keep learning from one another. So yeah, that's about it. Do you guys have any feedback for me? Do you guys have any feedback for how I should communicate to you guys? Any feedback for me?
Otherwise, I think it gave us a little bit break in the middle.
Okay, sure.
So that attentive students were listening to this, I wouldn't call it lecture, but kind of when because it's 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, absolutely. I think I speak a lot. So yeah, we'll keep it more concise and more short. But thanks. Any other feedback, guys? For me?
It was a really good session, Ian.
It was good.
All right, thanks. Thank you, guys. Well, I will see you guys on possibly Sunday. Sunday, I think Sunday or sometime in this week. Don't worry. The schedules are not like very tight and rigid. I will obviously let you guys know well in advance. Sometimes my also schedule can get a little bit pushed here and there because of work, but we'll try to stick to the schedules, and we will make it a point to connect once or twice a week. We will make it a point to connect, right? We'll keep the momentum going. All right, cool. That's about it. Not wasting too much of your time because I got to get back to work. So see you guys, and thanks for joining. And I hope this was a useful session for all. All right.
Bye, Ian. Bye, guys.
All right. Cheers.
thank you, Mr. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.